Hello everyone, it is the Reds News Roundup show. The Reds are on a hiatus for 3 weeks from football, internationals notwithstanding. Now we were going to look a little bit into the internationals and what people were doing and blah, 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 blah. Boring international football. So what we decided to do instead was gather myself, Ross, Errol and James as well, and we're going to do some running report cards where the general aim of the game is to talk through a clutch of players. We're going to be 7 on this week's show. We're going to be doing another 7 or so next week, and then the rest on the third week of the break as well. And hopefully what we'll do is kind of assess where the squad's at, the best moments, the biggest struggles, and then what we require from these players between now and the end of the season to hopefully deliver maybe top 4, and even more, maybe hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, get your karma straight, number 7 in terms of Champions League. So yeah, it should be good fun. Everyone, just a quick one from me to go and check out the Super 6 YouTube channel. There is the whole DL show on there, which me and Chris have starred in 3 of the last 4 weeks. A little cameo from me on this week's episode where they're talking about the best creative talent in the England team. Is a little clip from that.
Statistically, Mason Mount is the weakest link out of the 4. And that's statistics throughout the course of this season. If I run off some of the statistics this season alone. But stats do support that.
I need to hear this.
An attacking midfielder. An attacking midfielder. Well, first and foremost, an attacking midfielder is judged by the chances they create and everything else. He has less chances created than all of the players that we're mentioning. He has less assists than all of the players that we're mentioning. He has less goals than all of the players that we are mentioning. He has played more minutes than every single player we are mentioning, and his statistics are worse.
Yep, head over to the Super 6 YouTube channel, go over there, give your opinion on it, drop a like on there, and say the Redmen sent you as well, because it always helps. And yeah, anyway, on with the show. Let's move on to Thiago. So I was telling the gang in our WhatsApp group this morning that one of the granddads on the school run literally gripped me this morning to tell me that if I saw Thiago, I should give him a kick. And I went, and I was thinking, like a kick up the arse. He was like, no, because he's shite. He just
probably kick you first.
Honestly, can't tackle. And I got a face full of harsh Thiago negativity. Well, I felt harsh Thiago negativity. I couldn't do anything to it because I don't agree. He's like Paul Scholes. He can't tackle. He's a liability. He's not the player I thought we should bought. He's shite.
Cool.
Thiago?
I've written down mixed, not his fault.
Yeah.
For exactly the same reasons that we have everybody else. And he played a role he's not expected to. He had to try to settle in. He got a big injury, and he's still arguably trying to settle into the squad. There's signs of a world-class player there. And like Jane said before, soon as you put Fabinho in DM, yeah, there's the player you've got. And his best moment, I put, was Chelsea away, which he got man of the match. I think he only played 45 minutes because he was playing the role that we fucking bought him for.
Yeah, and to be fair, he actually wasn't in that game. We had them pinned back and he just sat in the 6 and just play and pen them in. What I think the telling thing, what we've seen from him, is the last... I find it mad that I agree. I'm happy to field Thiago criticisms a week ago.
Yeah.
But like, James, he was brilliant against Leipzig. And okay... People are still looking at that Wolves game, and he was a bit. I was reckless, but he definitely he picks up a yellow card, and him picking up a yellow card is a big tell for a lot of people on him at the moment. But I thought the way I enjoyed the way he played. I quite like the fact that he's happy to snap into tackles. I think that will come, and I think that will get better. And I would rather him be that in some regards than be too passive. I think we've seen lads come in at Liverpool, and particularly a lad with his skill set. I wonder whether he's trying to let people know that he's not he's not a wimp. He's trying to prove himself, and maybe he's just getting the balance a bit wrong.
Yeah, but that's that whole sort of not being a wimp thing, coming in and putting a marker down and snapping into tackles and mixing it up and tracking back and doing your defensive duties as well. That's all you can ask from someone at the moment. Is a victim of circumstance. And I know it's probably not a popular thing to feel sorry for footballers, but I feel really sorry for him. Because we bought him on a vision of what this Liverpool team is and should be and can be. And he's probably watched, as most people I'd imagine over the past couple of years, us playing this expansive, free flowing, exciting, attacking football, pinging the ball around really, really quickly, the counter-attacking, pressing. And he's thought, yeah, I'll have a little bit of that. That's a bit of me, that. I'm going to fit lovely into this system. And he's turned up, and it's fucking empty stadiums. The treatment room looks like the Somme. And, he's come in and we've gone, listen, all that shit that you do really, really well? Yeah, forget all that. Just don't make any mistakes. Just don't fuck it up. If you get the ball, try and hold on to it, tackle. That's all we need from you. And, like I say, I feel a bit sorry for him. But, he comes across as a nice fella. He's bags of personality. He's obviously very well liked. And I'm sure it's not hard to sell him on the dream of next season. Like next season, mate, when everyone's fit, you'll be absolute mustard again. You'll be enjoying your football.
It's another football, and I wonder whether by the time we finish these shows, Errol, whether we have a little bank of players, and the players that we're talking about who haven't quite hit the height of all had coronavirus this season. Because he's another one. He misses a couple of games, and we don't know. We don't truly know the impact on all these things. I also think having his knee snapped in half by Richarlison doesn't help. I think when you're 28, 29, coming into the fastest, most physical league in the world, and then additionally having the middle of your season taken away from you as well, in addition to having a virus that impacts your ability to move and run and breathe. There's enough mitigating circumstances, I think, in Thiago's season that I can be forgiven of it, because, let's be honest, there was no one who didn't think that was an astounding signing, and there's no one who didn't think he was one of the best midfielders in the world when we bought him.
Yeah, wasn't he in the FIFA awards as well as in their midfield last season? So, he is a brilliant player. I think for him personally, when I look at him, I get the impression that he's just a try hard. But I think it's a try hard out of what James was saying there. It's about circumstance. I think if he was in a full strength Liverpool squad, I don't think he'd be rushing into some of these tackles. And I'm not saying he wouldn't be a bit like, snappy at people, but I think his style, he'd just be so free to just do his thing and just move the ball, keep it moving, can dictate the pace of things. But I think because he's probably looked at this squad and he's done his own assessment of what does this team need now? It needs a little bit of crunch. And I'm going to be the person that can just go in and crunch sometimes, because he's like, we've lost Fabinho in that holding role. So that's what that midfield needs. It might be good if we've got the intensity, but who's going to add that crunch? Gini doesn't add a particular level of crunch, and it's not something that Hendo does too much. I think he has his moments, Henderson, but not as often as what we've seen with Thiago. He probably hasn't timed a lot of them right.
I don't think he wants to be a luxury player, and I think he could be a luxury player. I think he looks at he's probably looking at, like, you're looking at Naby, and he's looking at Curtis, and maybe he's looking at Gini and Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he's also on the other side. He's looking at Henderson and Milner and going, I actually need to. You need to be everything to play in that Liverpool midfield, and I think he's got that. And I think at his best, look at Leipzig. Look at the tackles he doesn't give away a foul with against Wolves. He's winning the ball back in really high and in great areas for us.
I think the other thing, his best moment for me personally, and it's not even really a football moment, I think it was that Chelsea game where he's on the pitch and and he's shouting, Robbo! in his Spanish, Portuguese, Brazilian accent. I just thought that was just like, it was like he's only been here, a matter of weeks, and he's already just showing that, like, he's been watching these lads for a while, and he was dying to be able to just be involved with what we've got going on, and he was just saying, move the ball, Robbo. And I just thought, that's great. That's the type of player we want.
100%. I just to go back to it again, Ross, looking at how his season's been, he comes in, starts the Premier, he gets his first appearance for us against Chelsea because he signs late, doesn't he? So it's the second game of the season before he starts. So he's had no pre-season with us, and of course he couldn't have had anyway because Bayern Munich went so deep after winning the Champions League. He then misses 4 games with coronavirus. He misses the 2 league games, Arsenal, Villa, and he also misses the chance to play in both of the League Cup games. Now, I'm not saying that he necessarily would, you would be putting him in those games, but when you're trying to integrate a player, there's a chance he gets minutes just to get him up to speed. And then after it is the Premier League, he then plays the Everton game. That's his first 90 minutes for us. I think it takes him half a game to get into the flow, and then he looks brilliant. He looked like the pass he plays for Mane for the disallowed goal. And bearing by that point, he's already playing on one knee, and we don't even realise it. And then he's out. He's just out. He doesn't come back until the Newcastle game at the end of December. At which point we're running on empty. We're dead, and we hit our. And then what happens? I think he gets. It's causality. I think that the causality debate of people are going, well, Liverpool became crap. And what happened at that point? Well, Thiago came back into the team as though it's Thiago's fault that Liverpool became crap. And I think that this is a prime example of he's got too much talent. And I've seen too many good things from him to even begin to be able to go, we've had well worse footy players than him and played better football.
Yeah, but that footballer's probably playing the role that they're supposed to play. Do you know what I mean? So again, it comes back to context. And the thing with the tackling as well is, what would people rather at this point? Again, it's the same as centre backs. We can't afford to be picky, but they'd rather just be passive and let Wolves players go by him and not do anything. Then there's a chance to be going, why have you not made that tackle? Why have you not done that? I think it was a Southampton game. I think he got booked within 2 minutes, or he had a foul and it led to a goal, and everyone's like, oh, well that's your fault. He's trying his best. That DM role for Liverpool is so hard, and now we're seeing what's going on, because Fabinho makes it look so easy because it's second nature to him. It's not second nature to Thiago. He's
played every game pretty much. I think he's on the bench for Fulham, which I think was a wise move, James, just to keep him fresh. But this is the point: having had no pre-season, then having gone through a major injury during the season, he's then just been thrown in because we're trying to get him up to speed whilst playing him in competitive football matches that we need to win, because we're also going through a struggle where we're missing loads of key elements of the team. And like I mentioned there, he's playing the six, and then we switch him out the six. It's not quite right, so we put Gini in there. He's then got a young lad in Curtis Jones who's alongside him a lot of this time. Again, all of these things. I don't know where would you what grade are you giving him here?
It's tricky, isn't it, man? You don't want to be too harsh on him, because I think he hasn't shirked his from the pressure. He hasn't tried to avoid getting involved, like Errol was saying before. I think God, I don't know, a C maybe. Is a C too harsh?
Oh no, I don't think he's done enough to say. I think B's a really good grade, and I don't think we've seen anything like the best of Thiago. I think it's telling that when I think about his best performances, you think about Everton, you think about half a game against 10-man Chelsea, and I think about Leipzig. So I think that's fair for a lad who comes with a massive expectation. This is not to say I think he's a C-grade footballer, but we're grading the season so far, and I look, there might be people who are watching this who think that's actually kind, and maybe by the standards that we're expecting from him, maybe that is a bit kind.
Can you go full school report on this and just go B-? Great effort, but hasn't realised his full potential in this side just yet. Can do better.
Yeah, absolutely. Errol, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I would have went down. I would not say down in the middle, but I think C would have been where I would have put him, because I don't think he's at the height that we expect in terms of the world class player that we know he is. But at the same time, you've got to look at the context in the season that he's coming into, and I think he's held his own a lot along the way. And I think he's given, when we've lost confidence from not having Van Dijk, Gomez, and Fabinho in midfield, he's given other players confidence, and I think that's probably been a little bit underrated, really, to allow them to still play their game. So I'd happily say a C.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm happy with the C. Let us know if you're watching where you think Thiago sits in the old school style rankings, because he's the one I see more criticism for him than almost any other player. Now,
because he slows us down, Paul.
Well, it's deep man of man's fault, that like.
Got to stop going on the school run.
No, tell me about it. Like, you know what I mean? But no, I see hit between man, and I think the attentions are turned towards Sadio Mane, who we'll cover next week on the show. But yeah, it is what it is. Look, let's talk about another midfielder while we're on the subject, Curtis Jones. Hey everyone, do you want to be in with a chance of winning an exclusive limited edition signed Luis Suarez print? Well, you can be. Either upgrade your membership or join up at a club legend level on the redmentv.com right now. You get access to a whole suite of incredible content, documentaries, features, exclusive interviews with Liverpool legends, past and present. It is a fully functioning Liverpool streaming service for your eyes and ears. There is 1 week left on the Luis Suarez print competition, so get involved right now. But don't worry, if you miss out on that next month's competition draw, you will automatically be entered into that as well to win an incredible Liverpool pin badge collection. We've got exclusive prizes for you guys every single month as club legends on the redmentv.com, as well as all those amazing pieces of content each and every month. So get signed up now and win amazing prizes.